Hello, gorgeous, beautiful pips here on Saturday, June the 29th. You may have... I showed you off my other Celeste pizza the other day. The pepperoni and sausage one. And as you can see, I mentioned the deluxe one and how, I mean, it's fairly similar to what you see on the box. More so than some others you might buy. I got this at the Dollar Tree. Well, not Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree. Dollar and a quarter. Dollar, 2 dimes and a nickel, maybe, however you want to say it. But that's what it looks like on the box, and I just finished cooking it, and this is what it looks like on the plate of the box of the plate. Now, it could maybe use a bit more cheese, but the cheese kind of melts over everything else. But as you can see, there's peppers, there's like plenty of sausage on it. I think that might be a mushroom, maybe. So as far as, dollar pizzas go, $1.25 pizzas go, Dollar Tree pizzas go. I mean, I've had some very cheap pizzas that don't look very comparable when you get them, but it's like there's, for these Celeste pizzas so far, they haven't really disappointed. So for $1.25, it's not a bad little pizza. This area looks a little stray over here, but hey, it just all shifted in the box, right? And I have 1 minute of taping time left. I haven't opened the blinds today, but I thought I might take a check of... Oh, no, I don't see anything. Hold up for a second. Still looks pretty full out there in the bird. Though I don't know about the windmill with one broken blade. Yes, I know, I'm blinking now. So, I figured before I sat down to eat, I'm gonna have to plug you in before. Oh, shit, let me drop the camera real quick. Plug you in real quick before I... Motherfucker, I just closed the door on myself. Clickety-click, there we go. Before I sit down... Oop, and now I'm stepping on Minx's plate. Well, one of them is specifically Minx's plate. The rest of the stuff that's on the floor down there are my plates that I have put on the floor for Minx. As you can see, I have the crazy bed head going. I've been sleep here on the... You know that I sleep on the couch for many such hours. But yes, the rest of those are plates that I've put on the floor for Minx, because this is the shit that she does. She's down there right now. I don't even remember what I left on that plate for her. I'm trying to zoom in to see it, but I would have left it there yesterday, at the very least. I don't remember what I put on that plate. Oh, maybe that's my burger from... No, she ate the burger, but that's her plate right there. It's from an old set. Well, I think no, maybe I don't. Yes, I do still have the bowls, I think. Hell, I don't know. But that's the lid for the bowls. But yeah, that's something I left there at least yesterday, and she's just now eating it. So, this is why I leave shit on the floor for Minx, because sometimes she doesn't come back to it for a minute. But then, like, the next day, she'll be like, ooh, what's this? Delicious, 5-course meal, chef's kiss. Like, so it's like... Bravissimo, We got started on Bravissimo one day, I think. Peter and I did. At Parks and Rec. So, I don't know. I can't tell you what led to that conversation, or that thing. But anyway, yes, I've been asleep. I don't feel like I have anything interesting to tell you from yesterday. Because whatever was from yesterday, I would have already told you, I guess. Because... should eat my pizza before I go back to sleep. So I guess we might as well just get into today's question. I'm going to set that aside for now. Okay, the 29th. We're on the 29th. Favorite TV show you have recently discovered? Okay, Gail got through a lot more of these questions, because I remember that one too. And I feel like I had a good answer for it at the time, but now I can't remember what I was going to say. Because, yeah, that question sounds familiar. When he started he bought this same book that I have, but he started it kind of late. I guess he would have started it in May. But he was actually accidentally, when he was, I thought, like, maybe he's doing it on purpose. I don't know. So that he's not answering the same questions I am. I thought maybe he just jumped ahead a month. I didn't know. But, you know. But yeah, he was accidentally reading the questions from June. But, I mean, as an overnighter, I fucking understand. I think he works overnights too. I'm not totally sure, because I was going to message him in the middle of the night the other night when I found the new Mountain Dews, the red, white, and blue Mountain Dews, but I'm like, I think he works overnights, but I'm not totally sure. So I don't want to, like, accidentally wait, or maybe it's his day off and he's sleeping. Like, I don't, like me, I just, on my days off, some people try to maintain the same schedule, like, they'll try to be up at night and, you know, but me, I just sleep whenever I fucking sleep. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, so it's like, if it's his day off, I don't want to, like, you know, bother him. I don't know. I don't want to accidentally wake him up. But as an overnighter, I understand, like, not knowing what fucking day. You always know when your days off are. You're like, oh my god, it's Friday. Oh my god, it's Friday. Feel like not knowing what day, hour, week, month, year, like, I get it. I understand, Gail. So I don't blame you at all. So he accidentally jumped ahead and answered a couple of questions. We still haven't got to the one about influencers, though, so maybe that's tomorrow? I don't know. I thought he only did it for a couple days, but maybe he did it for like 4 or 5 days. I don't remember. I guess. But anyway, I'll link that below, and maybe here on my face, try to do that thing again toward the end of the video, so that you can check out his answer to this question, because I feel like his is going to be better than mine. Show I recently discovered. What TV show have you recently discovered? Well, somebody that I know from high school. She is actually, she's not a police officer. She's like, maybe a dispatcher. I think maybe she's a dispatcher. But her precinct was actually filmed for a show called 90 Days In. That's not it. That's not it? That's not it. Let me go to Philo. Though they're not going to have it because the season's over. But it's like booked. We've changed our price for new users. Visit for more. I'm not a new user though, so I don't have to worry about that. Thanks, Philo. Where is my saved? Maybe I need to go through saved. As long as they haven't changed the thingy, I will recognize it when I see it. If they haven't changed the yeah, one of the, like, Dead City should be starting back up pretty soon, right? Like the Walking Dead show? Or Daryl Dixon? Now with Carol, so 110% fucking better. Booked, first day in. Not 90 days in. Good lord. Go to jail, you motherfucker. Go to jail. Directly to jail. Do not get $200. I guess I could have just looked down that, but yeah, booked first day in, and it's about people who get arrested, and, you know, like what they go through, you know, and the process that they go through, and I guess the drama, like, you know, are they going to make bail? Are they going to, you know, and their situation, and some people you feel kind of sorry for, because there was this one lady, I remember she was a truck driver, and she got a lawyer and everything to take care of whatever it was. I don't know if she was the same one with the family dispute, because there was one with the family dispute that sounded kind of like bullshit too. But yeah, she was a truck driver, and she like even got a lawyer. She did all the things that she was supposed to do or whatever, and they ended up changing her court date on her or something. And so I guess there was a warrant out for her arrest because she missed her court date, which I don't know why if she had a lawyer and everything. I'm pretty sure she had a lawyer. Like, she thought the situation was squashed, basically. She thought it was taken care of. And then if she had a lawyer, wouldn't her lawyer have told her that the court date changed? Maybe she didn't have a lawyer. Maybe she had a lawyer originally and didn't. But anyway, however it was, she took care of it. She thought the situation was taken care of. And then they changed her court date on her. And she didn't know. She didn't know. Like she was on the road, whatever, like doing her job, thinking everything was, hunky-dory. And then they ended up putting out a warrant for her arrest because she missed her court date. It was just like, she was doing everything she was supposed to do up until that point. At least that's what she was telling cameras. I guess, you never know. People are going to make themselves sound out to be the victim. But yeah, there was this one where it was a family dispute. Like they were at a barbecue or something, and there was this one something, and he was like, he said something along the lines of, "I'm glad your daddy's dead," or something like that. And she fucking hit him, and she should, and he fucking deserved it. But of course, there was like an altercation, and the cops got called, and then, he ended up pressing charges against her because she was the one that hit him. You fucking deserved it, you fucking asshole, So here she was sitting in jail for that shit. I seem to remember, maybe it was the same thing. Maybe that's what she had a court date for, was, hitting this family member because he was a disgusting human being. I remember the truck driver lady ended up turning out okay. She ended up making bail and getting out and everything, because they kind of show, they show the cases where it's like, you feel sorry for the people, whatever. And it's like, a lot of times they'll get off scot-free or whatever. But then there's some people that get snotty and get defiant or whatever, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna put you in this room to calm down. And some of them calm down, and especially the people who are drunk, they put them in the tank or whatever for for a few hours. I think it's 3 hours. Is it 3 hours? Something like that. To let them sober up a little bit. Or people who are belligerent, just because they're being belligerent, they're like, okay, well, you're going to go down here and you're going to calm down. We're going to put you in this room, in this holding cell, whatever. And some people come back, and are a little bit more respectful, and other people, they come back with the same fucking attitude they had before, and you're like, lock them up. Lock them up and throw away the key. So, it can be interesting to see those journeys and the different things that, people go through, I guess. And because my friend was in the show, I actually saw her sit behind the desk a couple times, I'm pretty sure. I was like, there's Jade. So, I only watched the show. I didn't even know it existed. There's so many shows on so many different channels now. You just can't keep track, especially these reality shows, But yeah, I wouldn't have known anything about it if she hadn't mentioned it on Facebook. She's like, hey, my precinct was filmed for the show and it premieres tonight, and she's like, if you keep out a watch, you might see me. Because there was one time they were interviewing the person on their way out the door or whatever as they were being released. I want to say he was one of those that might have ended up in jail for about a month or so, or whatever. And he did his time. Was a model prisoner, if I remember correctly, and he ended up getting out a little bit early. I can't remember exactly. But as he was leaving, the door to leave was right by the front desk, of course, and I'm pretty sure that was Jen that I saw sitting behind the desk, because you just see her for really briefly as the camera's like, whoosh, because they're focused on on the guy they're interviewing, the guy they're talking to that's walking out the door. But so I saw her a couple times pretty quick, I'm pretty sure. She was at the precinct out in Colorado. So that show could be kind of interesting. I don't know that I've I don't know that I have discovered any new shows recently, because I mean I watch my stories and my drag queens and, you know, my story. I only watch General Hospital, but I'm down to just that one. But there's a cast member that I'm concerned is getting kicked out, because there were rumors of 2 cast members being out, and one of them just left this week, very surprisingly. I guess if you've been listening to the rumors, you might have seen it coming. So now I'm very concerned for this second person, because she's an amazing actress and I love her, and if she goes to another soap, I'm going to have to follow her. I've done that before. Maybe she'll end up at Days. I watched Days of Our Lives before, so that one I guess I kind of watched Young and the Restless too, when Brittany Sarpy went on there, but then they didn't really give her much to do, and nobody really seemed to be doing much of anything, and I don't know. I dropped that one. Well, I didn't. I think maybe I dropped Young and the Restless and Days at the same time, and only stuck with General Hospital back when my internet ended up getting shut off. And I was trying to keep up with General Hospital, watching it through Daily Motion. That was fucking terrible. Doing what I could, especially on, like, because I was using my phone to. Daily Motion was not really the problem, but I couldn't get in through ABC. I couldn't get in through Hulu, because my phone just didn't have enough, like, bandwidth or whatever. I used the high speed, you know, pretty fast. And then after that, it was like Dailymotion was the only thing that would work for me. So Dailymotion itself was not the problem. It was my connection, because I was using my phone for internet, my hotspot for internet, and it was not working very well. Not to stream, anyway, apparently, as it turns out. But yeah, I haven't really... like, I've been following the Walking Dead shows just because they were the Walking Dead. The Ones Who Live ended up being pretty good, with Rick and Michonne, because they only had like 6 episodes, I think, or 7 or 8 or something, and it's like, you know, they had a story to tell, and they told it, you know, it wasn't just like a lot of downtime, where it's just kind of like, like, these are the characters we were dealing with, this is what they were going through. I mean, it took a couple episodes to get going, for me, personally, but after that, like, it was go time, you know. It was interesting, because it's like, you know, they didn't have to water down the story or stretch the story out. You know, they're like, well, we have this many set of episodes, and this is what we're going to do with it. And I mean, I feel like that's sometimes a better storytelling method than, like, hey, you get so many episodes a year, just put in a bunch of filler. Like, the storyline is very thin throughout the thread. You know, and the plot, the actual part that you care about, and there's a lot of talking in between, you know, that's like nothing happens, and it's like, ugh. But so I don't actually know that I've had an opportunity to discover any new shows lately, really. I mean, to be honest, I could scroll through my Philo and see Tetris Murders. What was that? I've added a lot of things here that I've never watched, obviously. And I'm not really seeing anything. There might be stuff that I've added, but I haven't, like, actually started to watch it. There was one of these paranormal shows, Paranormal Night Shift. Some of these I don't know. I think they, because there was one that I did start watching. Nosferatu. So good. Shouldn't have been canceled, but that's okay. It's not okay. I'll deal with it, I suppose. I think, was it Paranormal 911 that I started to watch? And it's like, their reenactments that they would do, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, they would put in details that I'm like, the person that you were interviewing never said that. There was this one where, like, supposedly in the reenactment, it's like the ghost chased them down the hallway or something. And I'm like, they never said anything about a ghost chasing them down the hallway. That's like you taking a hell of a lot of liberties with the story to make it interesting for TV. And then I was reading up on it, and people were saying that, like, these were actors, and they didn't really, like, these were not real stories, and yada, yada, yada. But I don't know anything about that. But, yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. Mayfair Witches sounded interesting, but I never started watching it. So I can't really speak on that. I don't have anything new in Hulu that I added to Hulu. I was looking at all... Ted, the Ted series was pretty good. The Seth MacFarlane talking teddy bear. I think I still have 2 episodes left of that, though. But they definitely... Well, it's not on TV. It's not on broadcast TV. That's what people talk about, like Paramount... It's not on Paramount Plus, though. It's on Peacock. Yeah, because if Seth MacFarlane is going to make a show for Ted, it deserved to be on something with cock in the name. I'm fairly certain. But yeah, the TED show ended up being... Because they did not... like tone it down for TV, streaming. It's not really not broadcast TV. They've been behind for a while now, I think, with the whole like you can't. Well, of course that's cable. I don't know how much that counts. Like The Walking Dead and all those shows, they started like throwing F-bombs and stuff. But I did recently, it's an old show, but I have checked out some Parks and Recreation. I am Parks and Rec now. But also I found out that, Chris Pratt and Aubrey Plaza are on that show, and they're like, they're like a couple, and they play off of each other a lot, and it's like, that sounds amazing. So I had to kind of start watching. I've watched it, like, reruns, like if I'm at Mom's house or something, sitting there late at night, waiting, trying to watch something or whatever. I mean, it's all right. I don't know. I never liked The Office, and when I first started watching Parks and Recreation, it felt a lot like The Office, but so I don't think I really gave it a fair chance, a fair shot to begin with. Because it just looked too much like The Office to me, so it's kind of like, eh. And I just kind of wrote it off, But definitely having Chris Pratt and Aubrey Plaza, like, together, like, being a comedic duo, like, that's fucking gold right there. Like, or even just having either one of them on your show is gold. Like, Aubrey Plaza, I don't know if you ever watched the show Legion. It was based on the Marvel, character, Professor Xavier's son. I don't think they were allowed to say that at the time because of, whoever had the rights to X-Men and blah, 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 all that other stuff. Like, she played an evil fucking bitch in that show. But it was kind of a crazy evil fucking bitch. And she did, like, she's, like, one of my favorite TV characters of all time because of that. Like, she plays it very gleefully. It's like Callisto from Xena, Warrior Princess. Like, just mad, insane. It doesn't give a shit. Like, it's so entertaining and so fun to watch. So she can do comedy, she can do evil fucking bitch, evil fucking crazy bitch, like, but, yeah, I don't really know any, like, new shows that, Reba has a new show that I'm gonna check out, Happy's Place, because it's, it's Reba, and Melissa Peterman is with her, even though it's not Reba, but still, it's something about, she finds out her dad owned a bar, and then it turns out she has a a stepsister, not a stepsister, like a half sister she never knew about or whatever, probably because her daddy had an affair or something at some point. So, I guess they get like, well, it sounds like Reba owns the bar, but so I don't know if they get like, you own half kind of thing, like they're thrown together. I don't know, but I don't know. So I'm going to check that out just because it's Reba and Melissa Peterman. But that that'll premiere in the fall. I think Gail even mentioned Ghosts, like the American version of Ghosts, which it just ended its third season, so that's not really a new. I mean, to me, that's not really. But that may be the newest show that I started watching on a regular basis. Of course, everything's off right now, so I can't really look and see like, oh, I'm this many episodes behind on this. I'm this many episodes behind on this. So, but maybe Ted would have been a lot newer than Ghosts, and yeah, it's been pretty good. It definitely has the Ted humor. Like I said, they didn't tone it down for streaming, though I guess you don't really have to tone it down for streaming as much as you do for broadcast television. That's honestly like all I can think of at the moment, really, because there's shows that that I've added that I intend on watching, but I've never quite gotten around to it. Like I think it's in like season 4 or 5 now. The Queen Latifah show, The Equalizer, like that looked like it would be a good show, and I always intended on starting to watch that, but I never did. So, I did. I've watched some episodes of The Rookie with Captain Tight Pants, Nathan Fillion, because the only reason, and I only watched the episodes with her in it. Bridget Regan from Legend of the Seeker played the Mother Confessor. Like she's in that show as like kind of a, manipulative kind of, like she plays somebody's ex, and she comes in as a lawyer. So I've been watching the episodes specifically with her in it. Did I ever name? Yeah, The Rookie. I was like, did I ever actually say the name of the show? She's been in a few episodes this season, and I haven't watched them yet. That's something else I guess I need to get caught up with. But not that I need to get caught up with it. But that show's actually pretty good. The episodes that I've watched, because sometimes they'll have like a mystery or a case that they're working or whatever. And the characters are interesting, and it's like it has some drama, but it also has some humor. It's very So the episodes that I've watched of The Rookie have been good, and then of course I get Bridget Regan. So she kicked so much ass on Legend of the Seeker. Like she should have been Wonder Woman. I'm still salty that she didn't get to play Wonder Woman. Are they replacing the other lady? Like, I don't think they are, because she's popular in the role at least. But it's like, like just go like look up Legend of the Seeker fight scenes or whatever, and you'll see what I mean. Like that the whole show, the whole thing, like kicked ass. But definitely her too. So, I guess that's a show. I don't watch it on a regular basis. I only watch the episodes with her in it. But they've been pretty good, the episodes that I've watched, like I said, I don't really, I spend so much time trying to catch up. I get so far behind on the shows that I'm trying to watch, like a soap opera and drag queens can, like, especially when you're watching drag queens from all around the world, you're trying to keep up with drag queens from all around the world, like, it can take up a lot of your time, especially working 2 jobs, not, not having as much free time as you used to have, and then sleeping for the rest of the, rest of the time. So, I mean, I don't really have an opportunity, but so many shows now, I guess, are not that interesting to me. I guess the idea behind them, or like Lost broke me. When there's like, oh, the secret, some kind of like what's going on kind of thing, like I'm still very salty about the end of Lost, and how it like drug me along for all those years and then didn't really. But there's people who will say, I'm about to get on a soapbox, look out. There are people who will say that all the answers are there if you look for them, because these people want to feel smarter than everybody else. But the thing that they have done is they left everything so fucking like vague and open-ended that any answer you fucking come up with could be fucking correct. So, instead of putting their stamp on it and writing things in a clever manner and saying this is what we meant the entire time, they left it very open-ended to where any answer, any Tom, Dick, or Harry comes up with could be the possibility, for why this happened the way that this happened. So, I mean, it's not the X-Files. The answers are not out there. The answers are whatever the fuck you want them to be. So, that's why I'm very bitter about Lost and shows like that, like, oh, something's going on, and it's like, what's going, like, so mysterious. Like, I just can't get invested in those kind of shows anymore, because it's like, what if they get canceled? What if they do have an idea and they're planning on, but then they get canceled and you never find out what it is? You know what I mean? Like, there's that problem too. Gail was just talking about canceling in his video yesterday, but that's a different kind of canceling. But there was an old show on Fox called Reunion, and it was about this class reunion that came back together after so many years, and one of them had been murdered, and you weren't sure which one of them it was to begin with. Because they would do interviews at the beginning and then like kind of show people, they were kind of showing, back in the day when they were, younger, teenagers, whatever, blah, 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 and now at this 10-year reunion or whatever, and what what kind of transpired in their lives and blah, 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 blah. So you don't find out, you get down to like two characters who haven't been interviewed yet, and then I think they kind of pull a trick where you think it's one, but it turns out it's the other one, like they kind of subvert, is that the correct word? Your expectations, and you're like, oh, it's not this one, like, it's not this one, it's the other one that got murdered, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I guess spoilers, if I don't even know, you could probably find it on the Pirate Bay, like, I don't even know where you would find this show anymore. But, like, it got canceled, like, halfway through, and they've done interviews with the creator or the show writer or whatever, and they were like, which almost makes it sound like it would have been a shitty ending anyway, because they said something about you can't solve the murder from, I mean, spoilers there again, if you're going to ever check this show out, if you can find it, the information that you're missing pieces of information, and you can't be able to solve the murder, because I believe they said it was a character that hadn't even been introduced yet, that was going to turn out to be the one that like murdered this person. So it was going to be like a stepdaughter or stepkid or something of somebody that turned out to like. So it was like a character that hadn't even been introduced yet or whatever. So it's like, I mean, you're left with this show that's like, and I believe the cop that was in charge of the case, the very last episode, he gets shot and left for dead, and you don't know what happened to him, So, but yeah, like so many shows are like, I don't know, like maybe so high concept, I don't know. I did always intend on checking out, well, that would have been a newer show, the Resort. It's on, I don't know, it's on one of the streaming services or whatever. We watched it when we were in Jefferson City, waiting to go do our overnight tour of the penitentiary there. And it's where this lady like crashes her bike, and she finds like a wallet or something, and then it starts, or a phone. I think she finds a phone So they start unraveling the mystery of like who this person was and how the phone ended up there. And I mean, it's kind of, once again, it's kind of like a comedy. It's like a drama comedy because there's like a mystery to solve, but there's also like, you know, funny moments or whatever. So they kind of go back in time and like you see, you know, the person as they were living, the person who owned the phone, you see who he was and his life and how he ended up at this resort and blah blah blah, eventually what happened to him. And then we're in the present day with the person who found the phone and, you know, trying to unravel the mystery of what happened to this guy back here, you know. So that was an interesting show that I always intended on finishing, but never got around to actually finishing. That would have been a recent show since you know, that's been on there a couple days or a couple years now. I can't remember when we did our Jefferson City overnight trip, because we did just the regular ghost tour before, and then Sean Merrily and I went back and did the like midnight to 3 a.m. thing, I think is what it was, or something like that. And there sometimes I'll discover shows like the Fallout show. When we were just recently, we were that was the Weston trip to go see Bob Reeder. We were at the Airbnb just kind of chilling, hanging out, and Sean was watching the Fallout show, and that was actually pretty interesting, pretty good. But I've never finished that, you know. It caught my attention, but I don't know if I need to see the rest of it. To see it's not like getting started on like the resort and a mystery, and it's like, okay, what happened here? You know, it's just kind of a, you know, the Fallout show was more like a character. It looked like a really good show. You know, good special effects and good characters and, you know, interesting story. But maybe if I'd seen the first episode first, like maybe that would have pulled me in more. You know, I started out like in the middle of the second episode, I think, watching it with him, and it's like I wasn't really sure what was going on, but you know, but yeah, there's no like mystery or anything, like nothing you're like waiting for, I guess, like, you know, this character finding out this character is still alive or something, you know, like that's what pulled me into Buffy season 6 was, you know, I was waiting for, well, I mean, you know, I just enjoyed it as it was, and then it's like you had to wait like a week or two for her to reconnect with Giles, and it's like, well, I want to see you know, I want to see that, you know. I guess Fallout didn't really give me that, like, I have to see what happens next kind of feeling. Not like the resort where it's kind of like, oh, well, you know, how did this phone get here, and what happened to the guy, and blah blah blah, you know. So I guess sometimes I will discover new shows with Sean. There was one, I think it was on Amazon Prime. Something about these farmers find out they have like a time machine or something, or an interdimensional portal in their backyard or something. I want to say it was like a time machine or something. I don't know. I mean, that was somewhat interesting. I feel like I would watch. I feel like I would finish the Fallout show before I would finish that one. I don't even know the name of that one for sure. It had a really well-known actor in it, and that was why Sean was watching it, kind of. I can't think of the actor's name. I think he was the one that played J. Jonah Jameson in the old Spider-Man movies. I think. That's the same guy. I don't know. I mean, it was interesting, but like there again, it's like I don't know if I was gripped by it, you know, sort of thing. I mean, the Fallout world looked very interesting, you know, with all these creatures and different things, and, you know, action and drama and whatever and blah blah blah. But I don't know. I don't know if it I don't know if it hooked me exactly towards like as many shows as I say, oh, I'll check it out someday and then never do. You know, or I'll finish that someday and never do. But, so maybe there's some options that I forgot about. But this video is long enough as it is, and my pizza is probably cold in there. I guess that's okay. That means I can just eat it faster. Not that I would, or whatever. So, at least I thought of a few other shows that I've discovered recently. Oh, goodness. I mean, it's a little bit too early, but they're actually creating a new soap opera, a new daytime soap opera called The Gates. Of course, when I hear that title, The Gates, I think of that, like, supernatural drama that was on ABC in, like, the early 2000s or whatever, where, like, the sheriff comes to this gated community, and he finds there's, like, all of these, there's, like, werewolves, there's, you know, witches, and a succubus, and maybe a zombie, I don't know, you know, vampires, like, all the... you know, typical monsters, I guess, you know. And that might have expanded if there had ever been a season 2, but there wasn't, so that's unfortunate. Hello, ma'am. But yeah, it's going to, I think it's going to premiere, like, early in next year sometime, I think. I don't know. What's up? She's had it with me because, you know, I made pizza and then I didn't give her any pizza. Basically, whatever, like pepperoni or sausage or whatever's on the pizza. I was like, oh, here's you some pizza. But yeah, the new soap opera is going to center around a black family. And I haven't heard anything about any casting or anything for it, but I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm going to check that out. Just to support, because it's like, I mean, the soap opera genre, nobody respects it in the first fucking place. But even though they're the hardest working people, and I'm going to get on the soapbox, hold on, they're the hardest working people in the entertainment industry, and they're respected the least, and that's fucking disgusting. You know, like, no, like, you film your show, you've got your 22 episodes, whatever, and you're done. You get the summer off. You know, you film your movie, you're on set for a couple of, months or whatever, and then you're done. I mean, I guess you have to go on the press tour and all that other stuff, but so do the fucking soap opera people. They, like, do interviews and shit, like... And they go every day, like every day of the week, every week of the year. Like, there's no other entertainment medium that does that shit. So, like, and they have to learn their lines. Like, it moves fast. Like, they are the hardest working people in the entertainment industry. Hands down. You can argue with me if you want to be wrong. That's okay. You'll still be wrong when we're done with this discussion. Like... No other show, no other, like, I mean, the news goes every day, you know, but that has sometimes just as many, you know, ridiculous stories, but that's just them reporting on them whenever they're not having to come up with the stories in the first place, you know. But yeah, so it's like, you know, I want to support, you know, I'm just one viewer. I don't think that I make that much of an impact, I guess, but it's like, I mean, I guess, you know, give them one more number, whatever, to hope that it succeeds. But we shall see. That's next year. That's a ways away. I won't even be answering these questions by the time, because that'll be a whole nother year, unless they come out with a new book. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this again next year if they come out with a new book. I don't know. But there again, it might be a lot of the same fucking questions. And a lot of the same fucking answers, so I don't know how interesting that would be. But some of these questions are like repeats anyway. I feel like, or like my answer is the same, at least of the same answer. But anyway, my pizza's cold. My pizza's cold. You've watched. Luckily, it's the weekend. Hopefully, you have time to watch a ridiculously long video that I'm probably going to have to process to corral again. But anyway, so that's my answer for today. Long, overly involved answer. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you for what I'm trying to. I'm not even trying to turn the fucking camera off. I'm trying to unplug it. No, I have to continue to charge it. I need to turn the camera off like this.